Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021. The album, Dad, AF, Rock On Gold Dust. I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. Kiss me once. Come on, pretty baby. Kiss me deadly. A little Lita Ford for you. Yesterday, now if you don't know, what you don't know is a lot, every day on my Twitter I've started doing this new thing where I am posting the icon of the day. The first one was Reba McEntire. Then yesterday was Joan Jett. And today I have put over there I put over there my tweeter, but don't call in sick with the tweets. I have put one of my favorite people in the entire world. I adored her growing up, so go over and check out, my Twitter. So go check out my Twitter. I'm also going to be doing giveaways here very soon. I kind of mentioned on my video, I think it was yesterday, the idea of me doing skincare reviews over here because I love skincare. I buy tons of skincare, and I just use it for myself, and I have opinions about it all the time. You know, like I'll buy it, and I'll be like, oh, this isn't really that great, or I really, really love this, or whatever. I buy, you know, a drugstore skincare and Walmart skincare and Sephora skincare and skincare. And so many people were like, yes, we would love to see you do skincare reviews over here. So I think I'm going to do that. But you know, in the past, I've given away like palettes and those kinds of things when they come out. I think I'm going to start doing some skincare giveaways over here. So follow my Instagram. Please follow my new channel, Peter Does Stuff. Those will be, you know, some prerequisites for drama class if you want to win those things. So yeah, so today we are going to talk about, well, first of all, I just want to say, I'm always like afraid to say this stuff online, like, or in videos, like Happy St. Patrick's Day. But I'm like, I don't know if you're like supposed to say St. Patrick's Day, Happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if that's being problematic, you know what I mean? And I just want to say, like, my intention is never to offend anybody, but it's like if you say Happy Earth Day, and then there's like somebody and they're from Venus, and then they're like, but I'm from Venus, please don't say Happy Earth Day, and then I'm like, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. So, you know, I try my best, I really honestly do, and if you've watched me through the years, and I talk about this with like the beauty gurus and the YouTubers, and we're going to talk about this today as well. You know, like who I am on camera is the same as who I am off camera. And especially, I think, being a person in recovery. I've been sober for 26 years and 3 months at this point. I'm very active in a 12-step program. I work with my sponsor. You know, I do service work. I do steps. I do inventory and evaluation. And, you know, it is my goal every day that I get up to be the best version of myself and to continue to grow and to learn. There was a book years ago that came out. And you guys are like, what does this have to do with the drama today? It has a lot to do with the drama today. Which is interesting because, you know, I was thinking about this literally right before I started. The things that I talked about in my channel, you know, when I started on September 1st of 2016 going forward for the year after that, it was, you guys, it was really petty drama back then. You know, it was like, I mean, maybe not petty to those people, but it wasn't this. You know, it was like Manny and Jeffrey releasing a palette within a day of each other. Or, you know, like somebody being in the back of a picture and who is that person, you know? And I was sitting here and I was thinking, you know, I was kind of like rolling through Twitter and I was looking on there. And in all honesty, the reasons why I try to do things like tweet out like, well, I always tweet out hello, 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 because that's what I say in my vlog. And people are like, oh, Aphrodite, because Ant from Aphrodite. Aphrodite. Hey, Ant, how are you? You guys know I love Ant. Ant's one of my dearest friends. And he always starts it and says, you know, hello, hello, hello. It's Aphrodite. You're pop culture psychic. So anyway, but I love Ant. So, but I always like, you know, try to put stuff out there like Twitter, like that on Twitter, or doing like the icon of the day, or putting song lyrics, or pictures of funny dogs and wigs and things like that. Because I feel like Twitter and social media have become such a toxic place that I really just don't enjoy it over there. And I think people would probably think, well, you're a drama channel. You probably crave that. I don't. I just don't. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. I like talking about the stuff that's going on. That is very, very interesting to me. But I have to say that over the years, what was problematic in 2016 as far as what we were covering in the drama commentary community, or whatever you want to call your channel, is so completely different than what we're covering in 2021. There's my neighbor's dog. Scooby-Doo. I mean, it's so completely different, and it's so deep and dark that even just for me, honestly, to look at it and read the articles and watch the other videos really takes a toll on my soul, so to speak. And then to see just the cavalier casualness that these YouTubers come out and just excuse it away or apologize about it, but really it's not an apology, is to me, and this is going to be about David Dobrik today, but it's really going to be about also some other people, is really sad to me. And the reason why, going back to what I was saying, is I'm not any different from who I am on camera. I mean, the flipping and the fans and the fun and all that kind of stuff, sure. But my intention is never different. And if you watch my channel for a long time, you know I used to say all the time over here, remain teachable. You know, I think that one of the things as you get older that you learn is you're not going to always be right, okay? You're going to get things wrong a lot. And you're going to offend people from time to time, okay? And, you know, back in the day, I would especially on YouTube, I would do something where I offended people. Like I would say something in, you know, a video. And I'm honestly just going to give you guys some really good examples, okay? Like one time I said in a video, I didn't use the word crisscross applesauce, like how you sit in kindergarten. I was talking about a story. And I said something else, and there were a lot of people in the comment sections that said, we don't use that anymore. We say crisscross applesauce. And I was like, okay, when you know better, you do better, right? And I was like, I haven't since that day said those words. There was another time that I referenced, I think I said part of the word that is also, you know, a Stevie Nicks song, Gypsy. And I did not know that that was an offensive term, okay? And so I was educated on that, you know? And when you're educated and you know better and to do better, and it's about remaining teachable. And I think that one of the saddest things that I have witnessed by so many of these YouTubers, and there are exceptions to the rule, I really, really believe that, but there are so many YouTubers that are just concerned with keeping their views where it's at, you know, keeping their subscriber count where it's at, and making the almighty dollar, that they don't really care about growing as human beings. And the thing about that is, that's fine, okay? You're the one that has to answer at the end of your day, at the end of your life, to whatever you believe in or don't believe in, okay? That's on you. But for me, I don't rest well when I put my, you know, head on the pillow at the end of the day and I think, well, there are things that, I mean, that's why I do like an inventory at the end of each day to ask myself, like, are there things I could have done better? Are there things I could learn from? And most days the answer is yes. There are things that I continue to learn on a daily basis, right? So when I see these YouTubers that are just like, all they're doing is trying to appease their fans, it is so incredibly sad to me. And listen, and I don't claim for 1 second, not 1 second, to be any kind of perfect example of a human being whatsoever, okay? You know, I just try to tell my story. And I think that one of the things, I was gonna say the Dr. Cherie Scott thing that I saw years ago, this book was, in life, lesson number 1 is, well, in life you will be given a body. Lesson number 2 is, you'll be presented with lessons. Lessons are repeated until they are learned, right? So, and I'm a believer in that. So when we're talking about these YouTubers that are being presented with lessons, and they come out with these 2-bit apologies that really don't mean anything, okay? David Dobrik's apology was 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Give me a break, right? What that tells us is, I am unwilling to learn, okay? And one of the things that is such a turnoff to me is somebody that is unwilling to grow and thinks they have learned everything, you know? And I think that as you get older, you realize it's, like, I wish I had known at 20 what I know today to be true, is that I am constantly learning and growing, and it's never going to stop. And the day that I think that I know everything, the day that I think that I might not owe somebody an apology or an amends or to learn something or to grow, is the day that basically my life is over, you know, my life is over. So I don't want to, you know, offend anybody. And, you know, and if the time comes that I do that, then you get on video and you say, hey, I screwed up, you guys. Like, I didn't know what I was saying. You know, I don't understand why that is so difficult for these YouTubers. You know, I just don't understand why that is so difficult for these YouTubers. So if you don't know, what you don't know is a lot. David Dobrik has had a lot of allegations. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of these. You guys can go watch, let me put a little lip gloss on. You guys can go watch Trisha Paytas on the Frenemies podcast, H3H3. You can go watch her video. She put a video out called David Dobrik Disabled the Comments, but I Didn't, or something like that. You can go watch that video as well. She talks in length about the allegations. You guys, this is the thing that to me, where I said in my video about James Charles that I was surprised, okay, that 2 years ago, and this is not brain science, you guys, this is common sense in all honesty, okay, that 2 years ago, James Charles lost over 3 million subscribers in the matter of like 2 or 3 days based on allegations from Tati Westbrook, okay? But now, similar allegations are coming out and nothing's happening, right? Nothing. You know, it's like he's not losing any subscribers. Yeah, there's people in his threads that are saying things, but it's like there does seem to be, and I get this in a lot of my videos, that people are giving James a free pass. I don't know that I think it's that people necessarily are giving James a free pass. I think it's just, there's so much out there at this point, right? And here now we have David Dobrik. And people have asked me my opinion about David Dobrik for a while. And let me tell you, like the last probably 2 weeks, I've gotten a lot of questions about, what do you think about David Dobrik? What do you think about David Dobrik and the Vlog Squad? What do you think about, I never have thought much about him, if you want to know the truth. I've never understood how that whole situation works, number one, okay? It just, none of it really makes that much sense to me. I don't understand Jason Nash's part in that whole scene, and I don't think they're funny. I never have thought they were funny. And I never understood the allure of David Dobrik, like why people are so drawn to him, except that I will tell you this. Like, Logan and Jake Paul are very arrogant, okay? Cocky and arrogant. Well, Logan Paul probably less than Jake Paul, but they're very cocky, they're very arrogant. I do think it's difficult when you talk about giving that much power and that much money to somebody that young. I mean, I don't know what I would have done with it at that age. Back then I was using, so I would have like drank and used it into the ground, you know? So, I don't know, you know, like if that's part of what that's about, and I'm not excusing it away, okay? David Dobrik, who is pretty much somewhat the same age, I think he's like 24 or something like that, right? I should look it up and see. He presents a lot more mature, right? So I think people see him a little bit more mature, but I could never put my finger on, hold on a second, David Dobrik, age. Okay, he's 20. Yeah, he's 24. I thought he was. I've never been able to put my finger on it, like why he rubbed me the wrong way. And when I was watching this video yesterday, this apology video, I was like, okay, now I totally get it, right? Because David Dobrik has always, to me, I don't think he's super attractive. He's very goofy looking, but he exudes this amazing amount of confidence, right? Like he literally comes across like, I own the world, but let me do it. Let me present it to you in a real humble way. Oh gosh, guys, you know, oh, it's me, you know? And when I was watching this video last night, I immediately thought of the guy that was my main bully in high school, okay? Now, if you've watched my Peterisms channel or my vlog channel, you've heard me talk a lot about him, okay? That I had made this Facebook note when I got Facebook. Somebody tagged me in a note. It was like 20 things you didn't know about me in high school. And the last thing I put on there was something to the effect of, it was like the last numbered on there was that every day that I went into high school, I was afraid for my life because I didn't know what was going to happen because I was always like the center of the joke, right? And that I was afraid to walk across the stage at graduation because I was afraid people, specifically this guy, was going to shout names at me, derogatory names that that everybody would laugh at, and my mom would have to know what I had gone through because I had kept it a secret from her, right? Okay, that. And the thing is, when I look at who he was as a person, because we later met because he reached out to me and said, like, I don't feel right about this. I know you're talking about me. I would like to make this right. And so we went and had coffee and we kind of shared our stories and I told him what it was like for me and, you know, and not to make excuses, but he shared with me what he was going through at that time and it was very personal to him. It was hard and school was his stage. Okay? And school was where he came and he could shine. He was not a great looking guy. He's actually 10 times better looking today. He was not a great looking guy. He wasn't athletic. He didn't play any sports. He didn't get great grades. There was no reason for him to be popular except for that he was the court jester. Okay? Well, the problem with the court jester is that whenever there is somebody that is the funniest person in the room, there's 5 people there that are being made fun of because there has to be a joke that's being told, right? I was the joke that was being told in high school. Now, he and I have hugged it out and moved on, and he has literally paid his dues, okay? When my husband and I were doing like, marriage equality stuff, he was at everything that we did. Every fundraiser, he showed up for everything. I mean, he has done so much, and he is an incredible person. And so I do believe that people can grow and people can change, because I think he is a perfect example of that. And when we talk about bullying, okay, which I do think is what we're talking about here, right? I think that you have to take a look at who the bully is and who the person is that is being bullied, and help them understand from each other's points of view, all right? So when you need to talk about should David Dobrik be canceled, we're talking about very, very serious allegations, okay? I'm talking about more of like the friend group. I'm not going to get into the deep dive, the allegations, because to come out in a 2-minute and 32-second video called Let's Talk, first of all, disable the comments, which everybody is joking about. Like, this is the big, you want to talk about let's talk and then disable your comments? You're a coward, David Dobrik. Not only are you a bully, but you're a coward too, okay? Disable the comments and disable the like to dislike ratio. At least allow people to see how much they're pissed off at you. At least let your audience see what a joke you are, okay? But you can't even handle that. And what that is when you look at David Dobrik and you see this guy that's like, who, me, whatever, and he's so nice, and oh, me, funny, ha ha, aren't I funny? Aren't I always pranking people? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, you're always pranking someone at the expense of that person. It doesn't feel good to that person. Whether they give consent or not is not the point. When you're doing these pranks, ask yourself, down the road, could I be hurting somebody's feelings, emotions, or just causing them to possibly have some PTSD because they didn't realize at the time what they were going through? You have a YouTuber on the level of David Dobrik. That's a lot of power. I mean, he's one of the top YouTubers out there, okay? Says to you, are you all right, dude, doing this prank? I mean, what do you say in that moment, right? Can you even imagine? I mean, when you talk about like the balance of power, like that's a very uncomfortable situation. So for David Dobrik to get in a video and say, I always ask for consent from people before I did a prank for them in a video, that ain't good enough for this one right now, okay? Because listen, if you had asked me several years ago, if I would have been in a video with somebody, if I would have been in a video with somebody else, I would have said, oh my God, yeah. Like I used to sit on this chair and say, I'd faint a million faints if I met these people. Today, my answer would be no. And you know what? I'm a human being and I have the right to change my opinion at any time that I want to, right? So the fact that people want to come out today and say, this is my truth today is fair. That is their right as a human being, okay? Just because it's more important to you to be the funny guy in the room because you have so many insecurities and all these issues that you've never dealt with, right? That's not our fault that we're the ones that are being taken out on us because you're the one that sit there. You're the one with the most insecurities in the room. So you got to make fun of everybody else, okay? Because when you make fun of them, it makes you feel better inside. We learned this stuff in 3rd grade. I learned this stuff in 1st grade, but it continued to play out in my life for 12 more years, all through high school, right? And that's where I say, like, today, I am forgiving of somebody like that. But at the same time, it's like, I took a couple notes. It's like, how are my notes, honestly? And you guys are like, well, Peter, we know you. But how are my notes for a 2-minute and 32-minute video longer than the video, okay? So I went in here and I took some notes. Hold on a second. And I said no comments and likes to dislike buttons, right? That was the first comment. But everybody's been saying that on Twitter and everywhere else today. It's like you are sending out such a message. First of all, any YouTuber knows when you put in the title of a video, let's talk, like you're really, like everybody's going to come over there and say something. Go look, okay? Every time I do a Q&A, I call it let's talk because I know everybody's going to come over there and they're going to be like, oh, what's Peter going to address today, right? Okay, that's the first thing. So it's a clickbait title to me, okay? If he wanted to come out and put a title and say, not taking accountability for 2 minutes and 32 seconds over the allegations, I would have been like, okay, that's a fair title, right? But you're going to disable the comments on that. So you want to have a video where you say, let's talk, but then you disable the comments. So what you should say is, I'm so arrogant that I'm the only one going to talk. I'm going to tell you what I think, and y'all can shut up. That's what the title should be, okay? I now gave you 2 appropriate titles because you turned off the comments and you turned off the like to dislike ratio. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of people seeing? Do you think people are buying this anyway? No grown adult that's looking at this situation is buying it, okay? And it just gets scarier and scarier to me as these situations continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, And And then someone said, someone said, no, this is what I said in my notes. I have said this about turning off comments, okay, and like to dislike ratios. You want to get in a video and you want to talk about like a family member that's passed away. I totally understand turning off the comments like that, okay? You want to get in a video and talk about, like when Laura Lee recently did a video about her mother, which was so sad, okay? And she did such a beautiful video. And I thought, like, this is such vulnerability and authenticity. Like, Laura Lee is somebody as an example to me that really has changed over time. And I think that's the other thing. David said in his video, like words are words, but like action, blah, blah, blah. Then why are you even getting in a video? Walk the walk, dude. Stop talking the talk. Like, I don't, like, to me, David Dobrik is the guy that got popular over putting other people down and making fun of other people and pranking situations. Because I can tell you right now, if David Dobrik didn't have the vlog squad around him and he didn't have all these people supporting him and he was pranked the way that he's pranked other people, he wouldn't like it very well. How do I know? Because I've been there. So you know what, David? Why don't you walk, across that bridge for a little while and see how it feels, right? But going back to what I was saying before, I totally understand, like, I'm not across the board, you can't turn off comments and dislike buttons and all that kind of like buttons. I'm like, there's a time and a place for it. I really do believe that, okay? But, like, that would be a video for me, and I don't even think Laura turned off the comments for that one. Maybe she did, I don't know. But, I understand that. Somebody's saying, like talking about something very, very serious and vulnerable to them. I understand that, okay? But this is literally an apology video. When you want to talk about some of the worst apology videos we have seen out there wasn't even an apology in this. This was like, I'm sorry you felt that way, but, I ask everybody for consent. But this was a cover your ASS video. That's all this was to me, okay? And if anybody saw it as anything different, please let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, I'm totally open to remaining teachable and seeing things on a different side, okay? But I now see David Dobrik for what he was. Trisha Paytas had so much to say about this, you guys, last night. And I understand that because Trisha Paytas is somebody that has been greatly hurt by all of this, right? Okay, let me get into this for a second. So, there was an article up on the Insider. Go check it out. Go read it. And it was called, A Woman Featured on YouTube Star David Dobrik's Channel. It goes on. Okay, Trisha retweeted that article. And then Trisha said, hey, David Dobrik, you can't address the specific allegations, WTF. Hey, David Dobrik, hired new PR and new lawyers. How can your lawyers say you're not at fault when it's literally your video? Hey, David Dobrik, remember that night you asked? Okay, she goes in. Hey, David Dobrik, remember when your lawyers tried to discredit me because I have a mental illness? There's plenty of times on camera and on your podcast where I clearly say it's not okay. She's talking about she didn't give consent for that. David Dobrik's apology, she says, POs me off more than anything. People who know all the stories, one's not even relating to my own. No, this is the worst way to handle it. You ruin people's lives, and instead of apologizing, you double down and show text trying to prove. Okay. No more than a week ago, it goes on and on and on. She's talking about, she goes on and shows all this kind of stuff. And so you can see that she's deeply hurt by this, right? And rightfully so. I think, like, this is the thing is that people are, like, very much, like, why is Trisha Paytas now, like, everybody's believing things that she's saying and whatever. For me, like I said, I'm very much an action, like a walk, like let's see the walk kind of thing to somebody, And, that's why when you hear people say, check back in with me in a year, and if I've changed, then please follow me again, Like, maybe I have changed over time. Maybe people, I believe people change, I've changed. I believe I've changed for the good. I really do, And I hope that I continue to change for the better. I hope I continue to wake up every single day and be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. I really hope that. I really, really do. And I want that for everybody, Because at the end of the day, listen, we're given one life, okay? It's not how many Lamborghinis you have or how many puzzles you sold. It's not about, like how many houses you have or what size of your bed, if you saw that video with David Dobrik. It's not any of that kind of stuff, okay? At the end of the day, it's those priceless moments that you have, those small moments in your life of the people that you spent with. Well, when these are the people that you're spending your life with, what does your life speak of, okay? Does it speak of how much money you're making on YouTube or how much power that you have or what number of YouTuber you are and ranking on who made the highest amount of money in a year? Or does it have to do with the people that you spent your life with, My friend Tanya and I were talking about this last night. David says in his video, the reason that he doesn't hang out with some of his friends anymore is because they don't exhibit very good behavior or something like that. And he couldn't condone. And I thought, are you kidding me? Like, this is literally not the video to say this in, okay? You have all of these allegations floating out there, literally all of these videos floating, or allegations floating out there, and he wants to sit in a video and say, the reason I don't hang out with these people anymore is because they're problematic. Dude, you're the problem. You are the problem, okay? And I think those people probably would say the same thing. And I don't even know you on that level, and quite frankly, don't care to ever in my life, okay? You have nothing that I want. Nothing. It's sad. It's a sad existence to me, you know? And I was talking to my friend last night, my best friend, and we were talking about, like, that's why we keep our circles close, you know? And it's like, for me today, if you bring all kinds of problematic, trouble, toxicity into my life like this, well, I'm not around for it today. I'm just not, you know, especially if somebody's unteachable. And that for me was the shining moment when I was watching this video and he said that. And I thought, you've got, I don't know, you've got a lot going on in your head, if you are arrogant beyond belief. If you think you're going to get in a video, okay, and double down on the consent thing, then kind of apologize a little bit, okay, but not really. It's kind of like one of those apologies where it's like, I'm sorry that you are upset, but you're not, like, you know what I mean? And then you're going to come out and blame other people in your apology video? What that says is, I did nothing wrong, okay? And what's so interesting to me is, we, in the last year, have literally lived in a world where these people come out. When we talk about these, why are we calling it an apology? There's no apologies. They're not taking any accountability. Shane Dawson didn't come out in his video and take any accountability. He blamed other people. Jeffree Star blamed other people. James Charles blames other people. David Dobrik blames other people. The arrogance and the ego that goes on with this, and yet these are the biggest role models that we've seen on YouTube. It's sad. You know, and then I was going to say that I was going to talk about some other people on here. This is where, like, the Jeffree Star thing, to me, people want to know what I think about this new hair, new era thing. I think it's a joke, is what I think, okay? I think, you know, and I sat down here today and I thought, if people want me to talk about David Dobrik, well then, hell's bells. I'm going to talk about David Dobrik, okay? My camera died. I just got back from doing a bunch of review videos and my camera died. But anyway, I digress. But what I was going to say was this, you know, it's like, right before I was making this video, I thought, I don't know that I can people want me to make this David Dobrik video, but I don't know that I can sit down and make this David Dobrik video without getting a little heated about some things, you know, because I'm passionate. I'm passionate about life, okay? I'm passionate about people. I don't want people to get hurt, and I don't want to hurt other people, you know what I mean? But for some reason, none of these people can get on video and say this. They can't just say, I don't want to hurt people. Yeah, I don't know what happened at that time, man. Like, it's really messed up. I need to take a look at that. You know, they can't do that. They can't do that at all. So for me, what that says is no growth. It's like Family Feud. You know, no growth. There's no growth there. They're not learning. They're not growing. They're not. You know, and it's just like this crap mentality, and it just makes me really, really sad. And I may get heated in videos going forward, you know, and because I am passionate in talking about these things. I'm not passionate about these people. These people are a dime a dozen for me. In 5 years, there's going to be a whole new set of these, you know, people. Do I think that they'll ever be, like, poor, you know, destitute? Probably not. Probably not, because now they have savings and all these kinds of things. But do I think they're going to be as relevant as they were? No, I definitely don't think that. I think in 5 years, there'll be a new David Dobrik. I really do, you know. And so I think that they need to be very careful of that stuff. But, you know, take it off the YouTube career, like I say, it's sad to me because these people don't want to grow. And like I was saying about the Jeffree Star thing, you know, it's like new hair, new era. No, what that says is new hair, let's forget everything that ever happened in that past era. Let's not talk about it whatsoever, ever again. Like, I'm leaving that behind me, okay? You know, like, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Well, that's fine for you. But when you compartmentalize and you store that stuff and you put it in a box up on the shelf next to your Birkins, okay, it's still sitting up there. You haven't done anything with it. You haven't worked through it. You haven't addressed it. You haven't inventoried it. You haven't looked at who were you at that time. So trust me, okay, the skeletons in that box, they're going to be coming out again because you haven't worked on those things. You haven't addressed them and said, who was I? Why did I act that way? Who am I today? And who do I want to be going forward? You know, and it's sad to me because these people are huge role models to a lot of people out there, a lot. Even if we fall out of favor with them, even if you or me or somebody else falls out of favor with them, For every one of us that's like, I don't watch these people or I don't like these people, there's 100 more that do, you know? So it's like they're huge role models. And this is how you role model to younger people. I mean, David Dobrik is a huge role model to a lot of people. And this is how you role model taking responsibility and being accountable to your audience that has literally paid your bills and given you this unbelievable life beyond your wildest dreams. You don't think you owe them anything except for excuses. All right. I'll remember that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of that. I was looking to see if I have anything else to talk about. I was going to talk about some Jaclyn Hill today, but that's a completely different video, so I'll leave that for something later. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.